People are, in fact, going down this road. People are, in fact, blocking puberty. People are, in fact, chopping off body parts. So regardless of how you feel about your kitchen table, this is a real issue. Homeboy, there ain't nothing you can say right now that's going to save you. You already fucked it up. All of these kids are dying and getting raped, but I don't care, is what you said.
It's a made-up panic. And people are talking about it incessantly like it is War and Peace. Like it's, geo-national politics or something.
Who cares? They're children.
It came out of nowhere. It went up and people took the bait. And there's a bunch of sheep following that thread while we're being distracted from other things.
Yeah.
Only validates my argument.
But that doesn't change the fact that people are, in fact, being distracted. People are, in fact, going down this road. People are, in fact, blocking puberty. People are, in fact, chopping off body parts. So regardless of how you feel about your fucking kitchen table, this is a real issue. Again, you can absolutely decide that you don't care about this. Clearly, you have. But that doesn't mean it's not an issue.
And people took the bait, and there's a bunch of sheep following that thread while we're being distracted from other things that are more important. Other things are more important. But libertarian, my essential question for you is, if I do have a child that's trans, who should make the decisions about what course of care we take? You can't have it both ways.
It's not a parent's right to abuse their children by cutting off their genitals.
That's gotta hurt.
Bingo. Parents do not cut off anybody's genitals. So when you say things,
oh my God. Talk about pedantic. Well, actually, they would have to go to a doctor to have it. No, parents don't do it. Shut up.
By cutting off their genitals.
Parents do not cut off anybody's genitals. So when you say things like
to chemically castrate them.
I forgot about that one.
You can't be serious when you say things like that. As a person,
what do you think Lupron is? What do you think puberty blockers are? It is specifically that.
Or
Because you don't like the words doesn't mean that you can just, well, I don't like those words. That means it's not happening. That's not how words work.
Chemically castrate them.
You can't be serious when you say things like that. As a person with a doctorate, you cannot be serious when you say things like that. That's an unserious.
Well, you're trying to say that.
That's not an argument. That's not an argument. No, would have been smarter. That's a good one. That's a good one.
A doctorate, you cannot be serious when you say things like that. That's an unserious.
Well, you're trying to say that parents should have unrestricted ability to direct their children. They aren't allowed to abuse their children.
I'm saying to you, as the person who goes around the country talking about parents' rights,
and that makes me somewhat like an expert.
I'm saying to you, if I go home tomorrow and find out that one of my kids is trans, and I have to make some decisions about what course of action we're going to take, me and my wife, we're going to take to handle that. I'm just asking you who you think should get in the way of me researching the different courses of action.
No one. Research, no one.
And talking to doctors.
No one.
And going through these long-ass processes.
What process?
There's no answer. Whoa. What processes? It depends on what the processes are. All processes are not equal.
You thought you could trick me.
See how people can very easily just hand wave. I just want to do my own research. Okay? I just want to have conversations with doctors and go through this long process.
What?
Hold on there, Speedy Gonzalez. Cope. I don't think he can. I think this is the max level of cope that exists in humanity. Oh yeah. Anybody remember the fucking opioid epidemic?
Different courses of action and talking to doctors and going through these long-ass processes
there's no
that
answer.
these parents goes through.
There's no answer.
And who should decide what books go into
But what you're saying is that there's no answer to that question. Because what we have in this country,
there's an answer.
There's not.
For me as a parent.
Because in California,
for me, I know in my family, we do everything the way that I do it, and there's no outside forces, so I have complete control of everything. Do you know?
Answer.
Because if you say the state,
yeah.
In California, what they'll do is they'll take the kids from you and give them medical transition, and in Florida, they will stop you from doing it.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, they're exactly what M169 is saying. Like, wait till he finds out that it's not that simple. It's not that simple. You think that, oh, I've got everything all figured out.
So ready to authority.
Do you though? Do you though? I don't think you do. So this next clip here is kind of on the same topic of 30%. 30% of Gen Z identifies as LGBTQ.
Right. So NBC News, nearly 30% of Gen Z adults identify as LGBTQ.
Good for them.
And so
that's the problem. Why? You don't know if they are actually experiencing anything, but the default is to affirm. What if 30% of Gen Z identified as anorexic? What if would you say, oh, well, good for them?
That's not nice.
Information. You have zero.
Nearly 30% of Gen Z adults identify as LGBTQ.
Good for them.
And so clearly it's not 0.1%. Now, okay, trans, yes. If you're talking about specifically trans, I can pull the number up, but I'm willing to bet it's much higher than you think it is.
But again, right now, it's not high yet, but that's where you want to push it. Because if that worked, I would be saying I don't like the lie called gun control. Then it could magically disappear. Just magically. Yeah, but unfortunately, doesn't quite work that way. Zippy said, if drugs were legalized, there would have been no opioid epidemic. Yup. But not legalized the way that they did it in, was it Portland or Seattle? The way they did it in Portugal. To actually do it for real. A-Film says, is it a coincidence that the same group thinks that the Earth is the Earth is overpopulated, wants to sterilize the youth? I don't think so.
In our human fun pods.
Hey, shout out to Unwanted Foe with the $6 super chat coming up here. Oh, there he is, coming in hot. He knows what is good. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Thank you so very, very much, sir. Said about 30% of the population can't reproduce. Good for them. Now, if we want to be completely fair, as we said, it's identifying as LGBT, not being trans specifically. So this includes non-binary and gender fluid and cat self and all that bullshit. Which is why the number is so high, because if it were, a real thing, then we would see more of those trans people. But we see the overwhelming majority are people who just take on a new identity. I would argue because they don't have a personality.
Shut your mouth and find a fucking hobby.
Trans, yes. If you're talking about specifically trans, I can pull the number up, but I'm willing to bet it's much higher than you think it is.
Pull it up. Let's see what the number of trans is, because it's taking up so much of our political discourse and our time. And on something so important like education and schools, it should not suck the oxygen out of the room. Our real problem.
So we're going with, no, this isn't a problem. I will bet anyone $1,000, dead ass $1,000. I will bet any one of you that in 1 year, he's talking about how good it is that kids are transitioning and all that stuff.
He already did.
Because right here you say, well, it's not really an issue. It's only this percent. You are pushing for it. That's like, say I had, imagine this is a clear glass and I start pouring into it and I just put in one little drop, but it's still going. I'm like, bro, there's only one drop in there. Well, there's only 5 drops in there now. Right, but you're still pouring the fucking shit into the cup. You're still pouring all this gender ideology into children's minds. So it's almost irrelevant what the actual number is right now, because you are on this show pushing for it to be more. So all we know for sure is that whatever number we see, you want it to be higher.
That's the plan?
That's the plan.
So important like education and schools, it should not suck the oxygen out of the room. Our real problem with education is data, science, research, teaching,
but I also,
resources. Those are the things that matter.
I also think parents see schooling as an extension of parenting in some way,
2%.
where the schools
2%?
2% of Gen Z identify as trans specifically.
The point higher, the point higher.
Double that of millennials, and it's double that of millennials, and 1 second, and so 0.3 of Gen X, 0.2 of boomers, and 2% of Gen Z.
That sounds to me like a trend, almost as if maybe it's not very high right now, but if things continue the way they are, based on the trend, that it would go up. Where's the science? Where's the study that says that?
What authority did you have to authorize this? Stupid.
I don't get how you can be so dense about this shit. I don't get it. I don't get it. And said, you pay it. Are you saying 2 men can't create a baby? Yes. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that clip, check out the full live stream link in the bio and catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there.